The political terrain in southwest Nigeria state is heated up as Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, Mojisola Miranda, presided over plenary at Lagos State House of Assembly amid the invasion of officials of Department of State Services who had earlier sealed the chamber and office of the Speaker on Monday morning. Also, All Progressive Congress and People's Democratic Party in Osun State treated accusation over escalating violence in the state, which culminated in the killing of the former chairman of Iriwole local government area, Aderemi Abbas, and 6 others on Monday. The crisis was triggered by a contentious court of appeal ruling allegedly reinstating APC elected local government chairman and councillors. Now, joining us to discuss this matter, we have Jide, a political analyst who joins us live from Abuja. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us at this time.
It's my pleasure, Iriwole.
All right, so how would you react to the political tensions in Lagos and Osun State recently?
Very unfortunate, and it's very troubling and concerning. But it's not totally unexpected because while the forces in Lagos are intra-party forces, it's a crisis, it's a political crisis within the All Progressive Congress. That of Osun is inter-party crisis. That is between APC and PDP majorly. Now, starting from Lagos, what predates what happened yesterday on the floor of the Lagos State House of Assembly was that the former Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, was alleged to have engaged in gross misconduct and abuse of office, and several reconciliatory meetings were held last year, but were still meted. So on January 13, 2025, he was impeached or sacked by majority 32 members of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Since that time, he kicked against that sack, alleging that there is nothing like impeachment in the State House of Assembly, and also the House was on recess and that due process was not followed. So he has gone to court. But having gone to court, what we said yesterday was that there was a letter inviting the DSS and the Nigerian police to beef up security around the State Assembly, given they said they had intelligence, that's the acting clerk of the Lagos State House of Assembly, that they have intelligence that by today, Obasa and his supporters were going to invade their house. And that was why DSS and police were there yesterday. However, what was shocking was that even though DSS and police were there at the invitation of the assembly, they decided to seal off the office of the speaker, the deputy speaker, and the acting clerk, who actually wrote a letter inviting them. And then they also prevented staff of the Lagos State House of Assembly from accessing the assembly. So it marks of politics that perhaps some people outside of the assembly were trying to get Mojisola Miranda, the new speaker, to forcefully resign or be removed. And that was why you saw that vote of confidence eventually when the DSS vacated the premises. In Osun State, this was a crisis that started way back in October 15, 2022, when the outgoing governor of the state, who is now the Minister of Marine and Bioeconomy, Boyega Oyetola, decided after losing the July 16, 2022 election to go and conduct a local government election. You have already lost out. Why do you want to conduct local government election? The allegation was that due process was not followed. That election still held, and the APC won all the seats, and then they were inaugurated. Now, the Ademola Adeleke came in after he won the July 16 election, and from that time to today, which was till yesterday, which was like 3 years, they had been in court. And surprisingly, if I will put viewers in context, there is another election scheduled for this Saturday, February 22, 2025. And just all of a sudden over the weekend, we saw the governor, Adimola Adeleke, addressing the press that there was a purported Court of Appeal decision reinstating the sacked member of APC. And that was actually the genesis, what led to the immediate cause of the carnage that we witnessed yesterday in Osun. Unfortunately, 6 lives were confirmed dead, a lot of property destroyed, and many injured. But by and large, it's all part of the orchestrated political crisis ahead of the 2026 governorship election in Osun State, as well as 2027 general elections across the country.
We have DSS storming the House of Assembly, and also presently there are rumors of the Speaker Miranda resigning. Do you think that perhaps at this point the President needs to weigh in?
I think so, because the situation in Lagos is assuming a frightening dimension. It's now turning into settler and indigent crisis of sort. Information has it that Mojisola Lesba Miranda is an indigent of Lagos, and she belongs to the royal family of Oniru of Iru. In fact, information at my disposal says that his elder brother is the current Oba of Iruland. And she's said to be an indigent. And there are insinuations that Obasa is from Ogun State, and even many or all the governors that have been elected in Lagos State are not originally or indigent of Lagos State. And so the external force that is trying to get Mojisola Lesba Miranda out of Lagos State House of Assembly speakership are now being contended by the Lagosians who claim to be the indigent, that they will not allow her to resign. And that's why you saw the vote of confidence that was made by 36 out of the 40 members yesterday, endorsing her and asking her to continue. And that is why the president needs to intervene, because when it turns to an indigent settler case, we have always cited Lagos as a role model, where whether you are from Igbo land, you are from Hausa land, you can be anything in politics. You know, there was even an Igbo man who was made commissioner for budget and planning in Lagos State at some point. So Lagos seems to be a home for all. But now that the indigents of Lagos who claim to be Aborigines are now claiming that they will not allow Mojisola Miranda to resign or be removed, because she's a daughter of the soil and a member of the royal family. The president needs to now weigh in to not to allow this issue to degenerate into another indigent settler conflict. And also, another election is looming. By next year, there will be primary and then ahead of 2027. So, our power comes from God. Obasa should he has approached the court. Our former speaker, Ajayi Obasa, has approached the court last week to reclaim his mandate, and he should allow the court process to exhaust. And if the court asks him to be reinstated, then it will be another issue to deal with. But to now force Miranda to resign when she has not committed any offense smacks of some measure of political rascality, which is why members of the Lagos State House of Assembly are standing up against that plan to have her forcefully resigned.
All right, and in Osun State, apart from each party interpreting the court's judgment to suit their narrative, we also have the state governor pointing fingers at the former governor, Boyega Oyetola, accusing him of disruptions in the state, and this is all close to the local government election. How close or far are we from actually achieving local government autonomy in Nigeria?
Well, the issue in Osun is not just about local government autonomy. They are bound by the July 11, 2024 elections. Supreme Court decision that has granted financial autonomy to local government. But what is at stake, is that what is at stake is 2026 governorship election, where both Oyetola former governor and the incumbent governor Adeleke wants to be in control of the grassroots. They want to have their full soldiers at the local government area. And APC, even though what I learned is that APC has agreed to participate in the next Saturday election, they are not confident of winning any seat. So it's better they fight to reclaim their so-called mandate, which has purportedly lapsed since 2022, rather than to go into a new election. And that's why you will see that the members of APC, the chieftains of APC, are calling for state of emergency because they believe that that is a short way, a shortcut to having that state under their control. But the president must resist because, as Governor Ademola Adeleke said on Sunday when he addressed the press, that the president must call his nephew, who is now the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, to order because according to the Governor Adeleke, there is no reinstatement by any court of appeal. And that's why, you need to understand the context that it's all about 2026 governorship election, where there is a likely rematch between Oyetola and Adeleke, both of whom will be fighting to have a second term next year. And they want to prepare ground, have their loyalists and their hirelings to be at the helm of affairs in the 30 local government area of Osun State. So that's the context, even 2027. But in terms of financial autonomy, I'm not sure this is all about autonomy. It's all about a vested political interest to have your trusted allies at that grassroots level, believing that if you are in control of the local government, you are just like almost there in the event of any governorship or other strands of elections.
All right, we really thank you for sharing with us from the wealth of your experiences. We really thank you for being part of our news at this time.
It's my pleasure. Do stay safe and keep safe.
All right, that's Jide, a political analyst who joined us live from Abuja.